Ever get that feeling, scrolling online, seeing these people just explode out of nowhere?
Oh, yeah, like 1 minute they're not there, then boom, millions of followers. It's all like so perfect.
Exactly. It's like that with this Indian YouTuber, Harsha Sai. 15.6 million subscribers.
Wow. 15.6 million. That's a lot.
Huge, right? Everyone was calling him the Mr. Beast of India.
Ah, because of the big viral video.
Totally doing all this, amazing, generous stuff. It seemed so positive, didn't it?
Yeah, that whole like ordinary guy using the internet for good, really appealing to a lot of people, I bet.
Totally. He started in this place, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, doing those videos, funding education, helping folks out.
The kind that really grabs you, makes you feel good about humanity.
Exactly. And then he goes and gets into movies, made a film called Megalodon last year.
Oh, I think I heard of that. Wasn't there like some actress involved?
Yeah, Mitra Sharma. She co-starred and, get this, she also produced it.
Wow, so she was like really invested in this project, huh?
Big time. Reports say she put in something like 2 crore rupees. Huge money. But then, things got dark.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're diving into 2 big controversies today. First, this rape and blackmail case from September 2024.
Serious stuff. And what's the second one?
So just this month, March 2025, this whole scandal about him pushing betting apps.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that online. It's amazing how fast things can change for these influencers. 1 minute they're on top, the next.
Gone, right. And it's important for everyone to know, as of today, March 24th, both these cases are still under investigation. No final decisions.
So we're working with what's out there, right? News reports, police statements, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So let's try to piece it together, starting with this rape case. The timeline's wild. September 2023, Harsha meets this 25-year-old actress from Mumbai, Mitra Sharma, at a party in Hyderabad.
Okay. And they like hit it off.
Apparently, she claims it all started with promises of marriage.
That's tricky territory. Promises like that can really mess with someone's head.
Right. Then early 2024, she's in Megalodon, right, co-starring, but she's also the producer. Reportedly invested a huge sum, like 2 crore rupees.
Whoa, that's a lot of trust to put into a project and a relationship.
For sure. But this is where things get tense, supposedly over money and creative control of the film.
So you've got this mix of personal and professional stuff already brewing.
And then, bam, September 24th, 2024, the big one. A rape and blackmail case is filed against Harsha by the Narsingi police in Hyderabad.
Based on her claims, right?
Yep. She alleges rape under the pretense of marriage, blackmail with nude photos and videos, and financial exploitation related to the film.
So they're looking at some heavy charges here.
Absolutely. It's either the Indian Penal Code or the new BNS, Hardy Nyaya Sanhita. But either way, aggravated rape, repeated rape, assault, even a charge may be related to causing harm through intoxication.
That's a lot. What about the father? There was something about him being involved too, right?
Yeah, Radha Krishna, that's his name. He's implicated, but we don't have the specifics on his alleged involvement.
So a lot of unknowns there. And what was Harsha's response to all this?
Fast, actually. The very next day, September 25th, he's on Instagram denying everything. Calls it an extortion plot, says he's got lawyers.
That's pretty standard, I guess.
Yeah.
Deny, deny, deny.
Right, but wait, there's more. Just a few days later, on September 30th, another case pops up. This one's for cheating.
Cheating? Like what kind?
Someone claims he conned them out of 5.4 lakh rupees, all under the guise of charity.
Huh. That's interesting timing.
It is. We don't know for sure if it's connected to the rape case, but it definitely adds to the whole,
Shady picture.
Exactly. And then, get this, on October 5th, they issue a lookout circular, an LOC, for Harsha.
Whoa, an LOC. That means they thought he was going to flee the country.
Right. They thought he was a flight risk. Pretty serious stuff.
It is, yeah. Shows they were taking those accusations seriously.
But then, plot twist, in November, he comes back to India, says he got bail, and still maintains he's innocent.
Interesting. If you're innocent, why run in the first place? It makes you wonder.
It does. But here we are, March 2025, and the case is still ongoing. No arrest since his bail, no trial date set.
So it's just hanging there, huh?
Basically. So let's break down what the actress is actually claiming. She says those promises of marriage were a lie, just a way for him to manipulate her.
Using that promise to gain her trust, basically.
Right. Then she alleges multiple instances of rape and says he recorded these, explicit photos and videos.
And used that to blackmail her, right?
Yeah, demanding money and the copyright to Megalodon. It all ties back to that potential professional rivalry we talked about.
Wow, so it's like layers upon layers of manipulation.
And remember, his dad's involved too, though it's still unclear exactly how.
Right, right. So let's go back to the legal side for a sec. You broke down those charges before, but it's worth repeating just how serious this could get.
Absolutely. So, Section 376(2). That's rape by someone in a position of trust. Minimum 10 years, up to life in prison.
That's intense.
It is. Then Section 376(n) for repeated rape makes it even worse. And Section 354 for assault with the intent to outrage her modesty.
Right. And what about that other charge, the one about a substance being given?
Section 328. It's there in some reports, but not others. We don't have enough info yet.
So maybe the police are still figuring that part out.
Possibly. But it does make you think, how reliable is all this reporting if there are discrepancies like that?
That's a good point. Makes it hard for people to follow what's really going on.
Totally. And we know she had a medical exam, standard procedure, but those results are confidential, of course.
Of course. But the LOC, that's something else. The police really must have had some strong suspicions to go that far.
No doubt. So let's switch gears. What about Harsha's defense? What's he saying?
Yeah, fill us in.
Well, so far, it's mainly that Instagram post, blanket denial, calls it extortion, blames it on disagreements over the film.
No specific details, though, right?
Not really. His lawyers haven't said much publicly either, but he did come back after getting bail, so maybe they think they have a good case?
Maybe. But that initial running away doesn't look too good, does it?
It does raise questions, definitely.
Absolutely. Especially when you think about the complainant side. I mean, she's not just anyone, right?
True. Mitra Sharma, former Big Boss contestant, film producer, she's got a platform, but it also means...
People might question her motives.
Right. Was it really about justice, or was it, trying to get control of the film back or something? And that 2 crore rupee investment, no one's actually confirmed that yet.
Yeah, there are always those doubts when big money's involved.
And with Harsha, his response is all very general. No specific explanations about those alleged photos, nothing really about their relationship except denial.
So he's not really addressing the core of the accusations.
Not really. And his good guy image, the whole philanthropy thing, it doesn't actually mean anything legally.
Right. Good deeds don't erase accusations like this.
Exactly. Plus, when you look at what we actually know, there are some huge gaps. No forensic evidence publicly available, no confirmed witness statements.
So we're left with just their words, their stories.
Basically. And even the media reports have discrepancies. Her age, that Section 328 charge, it's all a bit messy.
Yeah, not very helpful for people trying to follow this.
For sure. And the public reaction has been a roller coaster. At first, you saw a lot of support for Harsha online. Hashtags, the whole deal.
Yeah, I remember seeing those. Stand with Harsha or something.
But as more details came out, that support dwindled. The Economic Times, Sakshi Post, they really played up the whole fall from grace angle.
It's for a good story, right?
Definitely. And on social media, it's a mix. Some defending her, others saying it's a smear campaign.
Yeah, the internet loves a good conspiracy theory.
Oh, totally. And because there's been no arrest since his bail, people are coming up with all sorts of explanations.
Makes sense. It's hard not to speculate when there's so much unknown.
So, bottom line, if he's convicted, it could be life in prison. And even if he's acquitted, his image is probably wrecked.
It's hard to come back from accusations like this. Trust is so fragile, especially for these influencers.
Totally. Okay, let's move on to this whole betting app mess. This one exploded fast just this month, but it actually goes back to 2022. He starts sharing links to these betting apps, promising all these bonuses, like 150% on a 20,000 rupee deposit.
So preying on that get-rich-quick mentality.
Exactly. And then, March 15th, 2025, Cyberbad police file a case against him.
What triggered that?
A restaurant worker filed a complaint, saying he lost a ton of money, like 13.67 lakh rupees, because of Harsha's promotions.
Ouch, that's a huge amount for someone in that line of work.
Devastating, right? And the very next day, March 16th, this guy, VC Sajanar, managing director of the Telangana State Road Transport Corporation, posted about it on X, the old Twitter.
Seriously? Like a government official calling out an influencer?
Yeah, and he even posts this video clip of Harsha admitting to the endorsements.
Damn. That's pretty hard evidence to deny.
Right. And things snowball from there. By March 17th, reports say Harsha and some other influencers, like this Parisian boy's Imran, have skipped town.
Seriously? Where'd they go?
Dubai, apparently? Seems like a classic case of, getting out while you can.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Then just 2 days later, on March 19th, the Enforcement Directorate, the ED, takes over the investigation.
Whoa, the ED. That's big leagues. They investigate financial crimes, right?
Exactly. They're looking into all the money flowing through these betting networks. This might be much bigger than we initially thought.
So it could be a whole network of people involved.
Potentially. And as of today, March 24th, no arrests in this case, but the investigation has expanded to like 25 celebrities.
No way. So it's not just some small-time thing.
Nope. Even includes big names like Rana Dagobati, the actor.
Wow. This is turning into a huge scandal.
It is. So going back to that initial complaint, the restaurant worker, he makes like 18,000 rupees a month. He says he's been following Harsha since 2022, got lured in by the promises of easy money, specifically through apps like Match and Lotus 365.
Those are some of the big ones, right?
Yeah. And he even joined this Telegram group called Harsha Sai Tips. Over a year, he loses a massive 13.67 lakh rupees. Loans, selling gold, the whole 9 yards.
Man, that's just tragic.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the police have charged Harsha with cheating, that's Section 318, the BNS, and impersonation under the IT Act.
So they're saying he deliberately misled people.
Yeah, they think he was being intentionally deceptive.
Which makes sense considering what happened to that guy.
Totally. And this whole gambling thing in India, it's a legal gray area. You've got the Public Gambling Act from 1867, which basically outlaws betting.
But that was made before online gambling even existed.
Exactly. So these online platforms, they find ways to exploit the loopholes.
I'm sure they have a whole team of lawyers figuring out how to do that.
Probably. But then there's the Consumer Protection Act from 2019, which can hold influencers liable for misleading endorsements.
Ah, so that's what they're using against Harsha.
Right. And the IT Act from 2000 can also be used for digital fraud.
So they've got a few legal avenues to pursue.
Yeah. But it seems like Sajanar, the guy who made this public, he's not just focusing on the legal stuff. He's really talking about the societal harm, the financial ruin, the suicides linked to gambling.
Yeah, I saw some of those posts. He's really hammering home the devastating consequences.
It's a powerful message. So what's Harsha's defense in all of this?
Yeah, what's he saying about the betting apps?
Well, according to Sakshi Post, he's claiming he was actually trying to counter illicit operators.
Illicit? Like, what does that even mean?
He doesn't really specify, but he insists the apps he promoted were legal and that he was protecting his followers from Telegram scams.
Come on, that's weak sauce.
It does sound pretty flimsy, especially when you consider what that restaurant worker went through.
Exactly. I was just trying to help. That's a tough sell.
So let's fact check a bit. We've got Sajanar's video, those Instagram and YouTube links, the Harsha Sai Tips Telegram group, all pretty damning.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. And the victim story, it's sadly a classic example of what can happen with gambling addiction.
Totally. And Harsha's claim that these were all legal apps, well, many operate offshore, specifically to avoid Indian laws.
It's like they're designed to exploit the system.
And saying he was protecting people, that doesn't hold up when you look at the actual harm caused.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words, and in this case, the actions are pretty messed up.
Plus, the ED's involvement means they're taking this seriously. They don't jump into cases lightly.
So this could be a long and winding road for everyone involved.
Definitely. Now, the public reaction here has been very different from the rape case. No more stand with Harsha.
Yeah, it's more like, Harsha, what were you thinking?
Exactly. On X, people are angry, feeling betrayed. They're calling him greedy, opportunistic.
Which makes sense. He built his image on generosity, and then this happens.
Yeah.
It's a huge disconnect.
Totally. And Sajanar, the official who brought it to light, he's getting praise for speaking out.
Good for him. Someone needed to do something.
The media is also linking this to a wider crackdown on celebrities endorsing these apps. It's become a much bigger story.
It's like this whole underbelly of the influencer world is being exposed.
It is, and it makes you think, right? What was really motivating Harsha? Was it pure greed, or was there something else going on?
Yeah, it's hard to know what goes on in someone's head, but the psychology of it all is fascinating.
It really is. Like, was his philanthropy truly altruistic, or was it about feeding his ego?
That's a question a lot of people are asking now.
And the rape allegations, could his fame have fueled a sense of entitlement?
Power can definitely do that to some people, makes them think they're above the rules.
And with the betting apps, maybe it was naivety, maybe he didn't fully grasp the harm it could cause.
Or maybe he just didn't care.
But then running from the police, those weak justifications, does it point to denial or just calculated risk-taking? It's hard to say.
It is. But whatever the reason, it's clear that these scandals have had a huge impact on people.
Absolutely. This whole thing exposes that blind trust people put in influencers, especially in India.
And it's not just about Harsha. This case highlights a bigger issue, the vulnerability of people hoping for easy money.
Especially those who can least afford to lose it. And it makes you wonder, are the laws in India even keeping up with this online world?
Good question. It seems like things are moving faster than regulations can handle.
Definitely. So, to wrap up, we've got this super messy story, alleged personal misconduct, potentially exploitative business practices.
It's a complex picture, but it raises important questions about accountability.
Totally. And the rape case is still unfolding, but the damage to his image is already done. With the betting app scandal, the evidence seems pretty clear, and the consequences could be huge.
Yeah, both legally and for his career.
The whole thing makes you really think about the responsibility that comes with online influence.
And the need for greater regulation. We can't just let things run wild in the digital world.
Absolutely. And as individuals, we need to be more critical, more discerning about who we trust online.
Because ultimately, we're the ones who give these influencers their power.
So true. And that brings us to a big question. Given the power these online figures have and the potential for misuse, what needs to change to protect people? It's something we all need to think about.
Absolutely. It's a conversation that needs to happen, and it's one we need to keep having.
Couldn't agree more.